Welcome back. Oops, we put us back on there. Disappearing act there. So welcome back. I'm Robert Oakley with HomeSmart Realty Group, and joining me again with Lisa. Okay, see, I'm going to keep saying it wrong. Kamara, right?
Kamara.
Okay, I always want to say, I always flip the A and the E. I don't know, or A and the I. There's no E in there. So we were just on a few minutes ago at one of our other virtual open houses, and I've got you back with this. We're going to look at a new construction home that was just completed a week ago in Barefoot Lakes. And really wanted to pick your brain both on the house, but also to talk about loan options and things you do. For my clients, you're definitely my go-to lender, and I appreciate all that you do for me and for the people I refer to you. And wanted to kind of get some ideas from you, what's happening in the market right now. Look at this fabulous house, get your feedback on it, see if we can help the owners find a buyer for it. Literally was just finished May 30th, I think. They closed on it. They bought it with the intention of keeping it forever, and their circumstances changed. So with the COVID, get that back out of there. With the COVID environment, they decided that they're better off selling it than they were keeping it as an investment property and a rental. So we'll share that with people. Let me get my screen up so I can show you some of this property. There we go. So this is the property we're going to look at here in a second. But Lisa, tell me a little bit about yourself. For those who weren't with us on our last open house, let them know who you are, what you do, and I'll tell them why you're my go-to lender.
Perfect. I'm Lisa Kamara with Supreme Lending. I've been in the lending industry for over 25 years. Came from the operations side and decided to get into sales because I loved working with customers and kind of figuring out what their goals and their dreams were and getting them to where they needed to be. So love what I do, love working with realtors and making sure that, we're structuring and talking to the buyers the way that they want their homes to be. And especially with the market that we're in right now, sometimes those house payments are a lot lower than anyone ever anticipated, and kind of working through with first-time home buyers too, because there's some myths out there that you have to have 20% down in order to buy a home, and you do not. You don't have to have 20% down. We can get you in as low as 3% down. So lots of different cool, exciting things going on in the market today, but I'm happy to be on this virtual open house with you and happy to see if we can assist anyone in buying a home.
Well, I appreciate you being here. Let me get you back over here where we're the primary here. Let's see. There we go. We'll figure this out. Technology. So, there's some blessings to the environment we're living in. One of it is utilizing technology to make things simpler, safer, be able to, utilize your time better when you're shopping for a home or selling a home. And so that's one of the things we want to talk about. But in particular, one of the things I want to pick your brain about today is this is a new construction home. And if for those in our audience who have never purchased a new home and don't know all the headaches that you deal with when you deal with a builder and the lending, I like to say lending games, lending nightmare. I think the false thought that the builders put in the buyer's mind is they have to use their lender to get the best deal. They have special programs. The reality is, they're trying to make you use their contract, their lender, their insurance company, their title company, and they'll tell you they're going to give you X percent maybe towards closing costs. And what they really did was inflate the rate or the cost. That they inflated everything and they gave you money back. Basically, what they end up doing. You actually worked in the new construction industry for a number of years. So what can you tell our viewers about what to look for with new construction and their lending process versus what you can do to beat them and to give the buyer, a better program?
Yeah. So what I take a peek at is I actually look at the lender's loan estimate that they provide, the builder's lender's loan estimate, because sometimes there are fees in there, and I like to compare the APR. It's not sometimes just about the interest rate and what the benefit of that, $3,000 towards closing costs would be. I like to take a peek at that because we all know that, nothing is for free. And so they're going to make up that $3,000 somewhere, whether it be within a fee or an APR or a design center cost or something like that. That money is going to be made up somewhere within there for sure. And so I like to compare the two and really educate the home buyer. I'm not going to be the lowest lender out there. I'm not going to be, maybe I'm not right for them, but I like to at least compare because I like to educate the consumer to make sure that the number is out there. We do have some really crazy competitive programs right now for very qualified homeowners. We've got low rates. I mean, we're quoting rates out in the high 2s, sometimes low 3s on 30-year fixed right now, which is incredibly unheard of. It's crazy.
And I want to encourage our audience who are watching, leave us some comments. Let us know what questions you have for Lisa, because if you're thinking about buying new, don't make the mistake that so many buyers make, which is they go out, they go through the models, they get mesmerized by the attractive host, and they forget that all those people work for the builder, and they're trying to get the builder the best deal. And so when you go in without representation, you're not using the state contracts. You're relying on their lender, who may or may not get the job done. And there's just so many things they can do to hurt you. What I'm seeing recently, and I've heard it from a number of agents in our office, we have 2,500 agents at HomeSmart. And I'm hearing this common thread with certain builders, not all builders. And they're basically telling you they're going to get you the loan. You get, it could be 10 months from start to finish with a new construction, unless you buy an inventory home. But one of the common things these lenders are doing with the builders is they're promising them they'll get stuff done, and at the last minute, a few weeks before closing, they're yanking the loan, and they're telling them, we can't fund you. And it's just amazing to me that this is happening. Are you seeing that, or have you seen that in the past?
We haven't seen that with our company. I did hear that through COVID, that a lot of times if they can't sell their loans, or if they're in the broker world, those guidelines and those the structuring of loans really, really tightened up with COVID. We didn't experience any of that through our lending side. We're retail lenders, so we fund everything, and we were in a really, really great spot going in when COVID all happened. So we were able to close all of our loans, and we were actually getting loans from other lenders that couldn't fund them because of something, that went on with a guideline change or whatever. And we were able to take and grab the file and run with it. So it was very nice to be able to.
Yeah, and to be fair, I didn't hear that from brokers like yourself. I only have heard that from certain builders who are in a different arena. And it was surprising to see how many people were experiencing the same kind of problem some of my buyers are experiencing, and why it was so important to make sure you knew the contract. Let's take a look at this house, and we'll talk a little bit more about it as we go through. So there'll be a little bit of music playing over us, but I'll show you kind of a quick overview of the house and location in Barefoot Lakes. And if you don't know Barefoot Lakes, you need to. It really is an awesome subdivision. This, again, is a brand new house, 4,200 square feet, 3-car garage, covered patio, expanded sunroom, right down the street from the lakes. They've got 100 acres of walking trails and lakes, fitness center, pool, tennis courts, basketball courts, parks all over. Just a great community right off the I-25 corridor. So with this new construction, the builder put in the front yard. As you can see, the new owner will put in the back. So you're literally going to be the first one to ever live in this home. We've got some virtual staging to give you some ideas of what you might do with it. What do you think, Lisa?
I love that.
One of the things, I don't know if I lost you there for a second. One of the things they did in my virtual staging is they actually put furniture in the dining room, which is kind of a new thought, but I've actually seen a lot of people do that, where they don't need 2 dining rooms. So when you look at the pictures again, you might think, why did they put a couch in the dining room? But that's what they were doing, was showing ideas. So this is Barefoot Lakes as you enter, and as you see the panoramic view, it's just a beautiful area. Great parks, 3.5 miles around these 2 lakes. So if you're into running, it's a very easy way to get your distance down pat. You got the pool with the lap pool. Of course, unfortunately, right now the pools aren't open, but inside the rec center, you've got a fitness center, a clubhouse. They're going to have canoes out on these lakes. It's just a great place to live.
Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful area for sure.
It is, and it's right off I-25 and Firestone Boulevard and 119. So you straight shot into Longmont, right up the road, right up the road, down the road from Boulder. Easy to get to Denver, get to Fort Collins, Loveland. DIA is about 35 minutes, and it's almost all highway, toll road. So it's a great location. And what better situation than to buy a brand new home at a reduced rate without having to deal with a builder to get it done? Because the contracts we use are the state contracts written for protect the consumer, the buyer, not to protect the builder.
Right.
So it really is a great area. It's really in its infancy. It still has a lot of expansion to do, which you can kind of see from that view. So let me slide out over here, and I'm going to take people through this house virtually. So we were playing with this earlier. Did it make you dizzy, the 3D walkthrough?
No, it actually was okay. And I'm one of those that can't watch like GoPros because they make me nauseous, but this doesn't at all. So it's awesome because you can see.
It really is great technology. So you're at the front door. What's nice about this is they did the extended wood floors in this house. Now, the floor is brand new. Some of the photography, because of the way the camera uses, you may think what's on the floor like right here. When you see these little circles, that's just how you get through the house. So when you come in, you've got a nice separation between the master bedroom and the secondary bedrooms. Off to the side here, you've got 2 bedrooms, decent size. You know, most new homes now are 11 by 11, 11 by 12. They're not huge secondary bedrooms, but this is pretty decent size. What I like about it is it separates the parents from the kids. So you got a little bit of privacy. In Florida, they call it, I think, a split floor plan. So you can see from the front bedroom, it could be another office. Everything obviously is brand new. And again, they upgraded, they did the extended wood floors. Usually builders will stop the wood floor like right here. Then you have these little patches of carpet and it ends up getting ruined. You know, this is move-in ready. You can see our camera there in the background. And, you know, all pretty basic, what you'd expect out of a house. Everything's clean, fresh, ready to go. Mm-hmm. Those 2 bedrooms, like I said, are basically the same size. We spin over here, take you down to the real features of this house. So you have a 3-car garage out this side with a service door, which is nice because if you're in the garage and you have to go in the back, pop up, you don't have to go around the house to get there. Go right out the side. Pretty tall ceilings in these garages too. So it's for the most part finished. You got one wall that you can finish off if you're so inclined, but I think this one is 22 feet deep by 30.
Wow. So
it'll fit most big trucks. We had another house we were looking at earlier that had a massive garage, a man cave that would fit. It was 26 feet deep. So this is pretty close. And then when you come in, you've got the laundry room here, which is a nice size laundry room, tile floors, and not much to have to do. Get over here. And this is what they call a flex room. This is a Richmond Alcott floor plan. So this one has the expanded sunroom and the covered patio, which is where options or upgrades. This room they call a flex room. So you can make it a dining room, you can make it an office. If you come back, you can see there's a little ruler that you can actually use. And the ruler, whoops, let's see if I can do it without spinning it around too much. So the ruler actually lets you come over and measure it.
Oh, nice.
Pretty cool feature. So if you're wondering, will my sofa fit or not, that's how you find out. And you can do this in your computer. Yeah. What do you think of the technology? Oop, back there. Okay. So you come back out. So now you know how big the rooms are. You can do that through the whole house. And here's your great room, which is really the heart of this home. Granite counters, stainless steel appliances. Again, the wood floors carry all the way through. So you do have carpet in the areas where you might want some, take your slippers off or, snuggle up next to the fireplace, but it's a huge room. Let's see if I can tell you what this one measured. I think I lost my tape measure there. I must have thrown it in the trash can. So we'll zoom out over here. So this is where in that virtual staging, you saw the couch and the chairs. And if you zoom back over here, it's really a dining room. To me, we looked at this floor plan for ourselves, and I love the floor plan because if you like to entertain, everybody's in one big room. You're not broken off, isolated. If you've got a family, you like the kids there, you can see everybody. At the same time, again, you've got this is the gourmet kitchen. It's the upgraded kitchen as well. So you've got the granite, the cooktop, the double ovens. You need to buy your own stainless steel refrigerator, but at the price that we're selling this at, you're saving thousands of dollars. I mean, I think the cheapest comps in there are in the $520 range or $519, and those sold a couple years ago. So the one across the street from this just sold at $545.
Nice.
So again, you have the covered patio, and this is on the east side of the house. So in the summertime, no glaring sun beating down on you. You can enjoy the backyard. Pretty much everybody just moved in. This was the last house on the block, so the construction traffic is done. And now everybody will be putting their yards in. It's actually kind of hard to tell from here. Let's see. Whoops. Didn't mean to give you a bloody nose.
Maybe right on the wall.
if I could line it up right, which I apparently can't. So anyway, if I could, you could look down this window and you actually do have a pretty nice view of the lakes through these houses. You can't tell because of the angle, but there's nobody staring in your windows here. This house sits back, so it's really nicely located from that standpoint. What would you do with it? What do you think? It's a blank slate right now for a new homeowner.
I love that there's no holes in the walls. And I love like still a neutral home, so you can go in and do your paint scheme to whatever matches your furniture. I love that the sink is in the island, because then you can turn around and when you're done partying and doing dishes, you can still, chat and hang out with people that are in the dining room or the living room and still
Yeah.
be part of the party. So I like
It
that.
is nice. I got to tell you this. I prefer buying an unfinished basement versus a finished basement because I want to make it my own. The builder would finish this and they would do about 2/3 of the basement and they charge you like $35,000. And all they're doing is putting in one bedroom, doing about, like I said, 2/3 of the walls, putting carpet. They're not really going to do much for that. Oops, there goes my tape measure again. So I figured out how to get it back. But look at this basement. This thing is awesome. For me, this is what I was so attracted to because you got 2,130 square feet down here.
Wow.
So you're looking at over 4,200 square feet total. So when you come in, I'll zoom back over here. So if you spin around, look at this thing. It is wide open. There's just such a nice blank slate of what you could do. I would kind of put maybe my little workout room over here. You want to keep your egress windows for your bedrooms, but you've got plenty of options as far as what you might do yourself. It's far better to me saving the $35,000 that you charge the builder to get basically nothing, and spending that money and doing it yourself and having a completely finished basement and making it just an awesome setting. But yeah. I mean, you basically have two houses here for the price of one. It's just a huge basement.
Yeah, that's
so, and I like it because you don't have a lot of garbage hanging down. You're not going to have a great room with stuff blocking it, which makes it feel like a basement. This one won't, because when you frame this in, you're not going to have your ductwork hanging down. It all runs down where the support is. So your bedrooms, your great room, all that's going to feel like you're upstairs.
Yeah, and there's quite a bit of light coming in through those windows too.
There is,
Yeah.
And because they did the extended sunroom it gives them that extra square footage. So normally this is about a 3,700 square foot house. So it's just a great place. Let me go back over here. So if people want to come back and look at it, they can just hit floor 1, floor 2, and it just pops you right back and forth. This is your master.
Don't you wish you could get up the stairs that quickly when you're actually in it?
I can fall down that fast. I can't go up, but I can go down that fast.
Exactly.
So again, it's just a great place, a great home. 5-piece master bath. The shower has a little sitting area, so you've got some areas where you can put your legs if you're so inclined to shave them in the shower, and you can sit down. You got the soaker tub. And again, it's a blank slate. So they do have the blinds up, so you don't have to worry about rushing in and doing curtains and spending a lot of money. But of course, most people are going to want to make it their own. Any thoughts about somebody who might want to look at this for an investment property, or maybe they don't plan on being here 30 years. They want to get in right away. What are some loan options you could think of that might be attractive or be better than what people may not be thinking about?
Yeah, so we've got definitely some great programs. Like I mentioned earlier, as low as 3% down. You have some down still available, which can help as well. And then we also have programs finance.
I got to slide my computer over here. Sorry for that.
Okay. So we've got some different programs we can put together for sure. And you don't have to, we can even price it out to help with closing costs. So if that's something that is an option. But I mean, rates are so low right now that you may be surprised what you can afford now that rates have dropped. So we kind of tell everyone on an estimate, if your payment drops or your purchase price for every $50 a month, that gives you about $10,000 in purchase power at today's current rates. So a lot of people are pleasantly surprised when we do actually run the numbers on the home, that they do qualify for a little bit more of a house now that rates have dropped so significantly.
So if somebody's going to be here, they're moving in, they don't think they're going to be here more than 7 years. Is a 30-year loan the best option, or what might be the better way versus dumping a lot of money down, or also trying to avoid closing costs? What are some creative ways to make it even more attractive and be better off 7 years from now than they are today?
So currently right now, I mean, our 30-year mortgage is pricing out pretty competitively. For a while there, it was pricing out even a little bit better than our 15-year mortgage was. I mean, if they're planning on being there about 7 years, I would work with them to, depending on their current payment and their new payment, and working in those numbers just to maybe pay a little bit extra towards principal. I know a lot of people are saving a lot of money now. So I have a lovely little spreadsheet that I use, that even if you just apply an extra $50 a month to your payment, what it would do over that 7-year period to how much interest you would end up paying, and where, that equity would be built up to where, if it's something you're looking at turning around and selling, then you would have that extra equity built up.
Okay.
Sure.
Because a lot of people shop based on a 30-year mortgage, and most people end up moving every 5 to 7 or 5 to 9 years. And so maybe the 30-year mortgage wasn't the best option. There was better ways to do it and cheaper. And of course, rates are so low now that, if you're going to keep it, live in it 5 years and then rent it, you're going to be, maybe that is the best option. So I wanted to show you where this is at, because it's hard to tell how nice the location is from all the different online tools I have. But this view gives you some great tools. So here's the house itself. I wanted to show how how close you are to get down to the lakes. And again, you can kind of see, this was that sunroom I was showing you before, where you do have a kind of an unobstructed view down to the lakes over here. But you're basically you're the third house up on the block, and you got these 4 houses here, and then you're right at the lakes. I mean, so 3.5 miles around these lakes. As you can see, the walking trails. You've got a nice playground here, a pavilion. You walk out onto these islands. If I can zoom in on that or not, but if you walk out of the islands, there's just a lot of cool stuff out here. They're going to be having canoes down here, I think, in this end of the lake. If you pan around this way, so here's our house right here, and there's a rec center. So the cove that has the pool. The other view I had showed the lap pool. You had a lap pool, a kids pool, a fitness center, tennis courts, basketball courts, a lot of awesome stuff. Here's probably one of the most important things. You zip down the road, pop out over here. They don't have a little arrow, but right over here, Starbucks. so if you're like me and you just need to go and get a break, you're a pretty short trip down to get your Starbucks and then head back home and sit on your patio and enjoy it. You've got another nice thing about this home is the Mead school system. So Mead High School is one of the highest rated schools in the area. You got Mead High School, junior high. They're all right in this area. So they're close to the home, but it's one of the most desirable school systems in the Frederick, Longmont, Firestone area. So definitely want to point that out. And this just shows you kind of where they're at. This was going to be some new, smaller homes that are coming into the area. And the future development of this is all back here. So, the opportunities to have homes that are going to be this close to the lake are going to be pretty non-existent, especially under $600,000. If you get over into these homes on these 2 blocks, you're going to be in the 6s and 7s, and they're not going to be any closer than this one is. These homes right on the lake are great homes. They're smaller. They actually have 2 HOA fees. So you're looking at $150 a month just in HOA.
Wow.
So this is at $519, $520 is really a killer deal, because there's not another ranch home in this development priced under $600,000. You can kind of ballpark, what would somebody looking at if they came in with 20% down? You've got taxes at 1.2%.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think ballpark for a payment would be? HOA $65.
Yeah, for sure. So payment on that would be, because you won't have any mortgage insurance if you put the 20% down. So you're looking at your payment being under $2,200.
Awesome. You can't rent a home for that. You can barely rent an apartment for $1,800 a month in that area. And here by the time you do your tax write-off, you're at the end of the year, you're making money.
Yeah. Well,
so this really is a killer deal.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on what you saw from looking at the video and the surrounding area? Are you familiar with Barefoot Lakes?
You know what? I wasn't before tonight, but what I can tell you is that lake right there. I mean, I could just imagine going and walking around that lake with my dog. It's a great area. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's super. I love it. I'm not too far from myself. Let me see if I can zoom around and get another picture of the lake. I don't know if I have another good view of it from this angle, but it is a great area. Well, like I said, what I like is the proximity that you're right off the highway, so you're not sitting in back-to-back or bumper-to-bumper traffic trying to get to the highway. You're there,
Yeah.
and on the way you get your Starbucks and enjoy the drive.
Yeah,
So
exactly. It's a
it's a
beautiful
great
area.
property, and I appreciate you jumping on with us and letting people see the virtual tour. If people are thinking of buying a home or selling a home, well, how do you think this technology could help them?
Oh, I love it because you have the overview and you can kind of sit in the comfort of your own home and kind of look through houses and see if that's, something you're interested in. And then you can schedule a face-to-face tour if it's something you're definitely interested in, but it gives you kind of a different view.
And what's nice is you and I could sit in a 30-minute meeting with a buyer. I can have homes ready to go. It doesn't have to be our listings. We can show them any house, have all this ready to go virtually. You could discuss different loan options, how the different tax rates might affect them. So in 30 minutes, you and I can accomplish what used to take us a couple days to do. No driving around, no worries about COVID.
Can tell you the environment that we're in right now and have been in the last 60 days is I know that my technology here at home works. If I go out to, another place and try to log onto their Wi-Fi, and I have a lot more personal information within my system than most people do, obviously being a lender. But what I can do is if the buyer goes, oh, wait, if I do this or I do that, can I run that number? And I can run it right away for them and get it done. So this is a great way to do that virtually for sure.
Oh, yeah. Are you seeing, has your life changed dramatically how you're doing business now in the last month and a half, 2 months?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
it's changed it in the fact that, you just have to get accustomed to doing everything virtually. You sure learn how to know how to create PDFs on your cell phone. If anybody needs help with that, call me because I know how to do it now.
you got it all down.
Yeah. Lots of different things that you just have to learn as you go along just because of the environment that we're in.
I like to tell my clients and customers and would-be clients and customers that we want to be their go-to source for everything real estate related. We want to sell houses. We want to help them sell houses. We want to help them buy houses. We want to help them invest in houses. But reality is sometimes the best move is to stay put and work with you on refinancing. What can you tell people right now should be their focus between now and the end of the year? What do you expect rates to do? And why is now a great time to refinance if you aren't thinking of selling?
So one of the things that I can tell you that if you are at an interest rate of 4% or higher right now, or you're still paying mortgage insurance, you need to call me right away. There are a lot of people out there that don't realize the type of loan that they have. So your homework, whoever's listening or will see this, go and pull and see what your interest rate is. See if you're paying mortgage insurance because the world that we're in right now, the rates are so low that you could save tons of money saving just on those two aspects. But the other part that I'm doing too is I'm also looking at their full financial picture. So, maybe you have some credit card debt and you have a little bit of equity and you want to, credit card debt right now, if you're just making the principal balance, you're never going to get rid of that balance. And so there's tools and tricks that I can look at your whole financial picture other than just refinancing your mortgage. So restructuring that whole thing.
So let's see, it's been a little over a year ago, February of last year, I have a good friend who bought a house up the street. Won't point out the house because I want to put him on the spot. But he had been renting for years and went in to get in with as little money out of pocket as he could. And he paid right about 5% interest a year ago, a year and a half ago. So he's got equity in the home now because he bought it. He got a killer deal on the property in the low fours. So someone like that, I'm guessing you're going to probably save them $500-600 a month or more.
Absolutely. Especially at 5% interest rate.
Yeah, and he probably has mortgage insurance, so you're wiping that out. It's just almost a no-brainer. And if he did want to consolidate bills, he's actually thinking of doing something where he can pull some money out to finish his basement and maybe do some other things. Can you coordinate that for him as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely do that, and work through that financial picture for them. And it's amazing how much people will save just by, if you pull out 10,000, sometimes you don't even see that, that change in your payment because of the interest dropping and us getting rid of mortgage insurance,
Right.
and all of those things for sure.
What's pretty much a good rule of thumb for every 10,000? What is it? We're talking $40 to $50 a month.
Yep. So right now, if you want to use a rule of thumb for every 10,000, it does change your payment between $40 to $50 a month, at the current interest rates right now. So you think about that. I mean, what's 40 to 50 bucks a month right now to people? You don't really miss it. The other tool that I'm doing too is when I take a look at the full financial picture. Sometimes you're out of pocket or out of your checking account every month is $3,000. Maybe that
Mhm.
goes towards credit cards. It goes through a car payment. It goes through your house payment. Well, if we do a cash out and lump it all in together and you still maintain paying that $3,000 a month, you could save tons in interest. And sometimes it actually knocks your mortgage down to like nothing because you end up paying it off in 15 years. So just the interest you'd save doing that type of situation too, for
Yeah,
sure.
smart move. If you figure $40 a month, that's basically 5, 6 trips to Starbucks.
Exactly. So like pointed out on that last house, don't hit it every day. Maybe
Yeah,
just
that's right. That's right. So I've got your information down below. I know people came to look at the house, but I want to make sure they can reach you. What's the best way to reach you? Text, phone, email?
Yep, the best way to reach me is the number listed below at the 303-587-6983. That is my cell phone number. I don't really have an office number because I'm out and about all the time. And text or voicemail, I'll call you right back. I would love to say I work 24/7, but I do have to sleep sometimes. But I work when you need me. So if it's a Sunday afternoon and you're out looking at houses or you want someone to look at your refinance, I will definitely take a picture. I will take a peek at it for you. It doesn't matter if it's a weekend or an evening.
Awesome. So they can find you on Facebook. They can find you on the internet. I say just click on Messenger on Facebook and reach out to you. Reach out to me. I'll connect you. Whether you're purchasing or refinancing, whatever it is, you're my go-to lender, and I appreciate all you do for me. And I won't keep you. I'll let you go have dinner with your family. Thanks for supporting us on the virtual open house. Hope we can do some more in the near future. I have a great property coming up tomorrow, coming soon tomorrow in
Nice.
Denver, just by City Park. Awesome house that's going to be a moneymaker for somebody. So we'll tell them more about that on our next visit. But
Sounds good.
thanks again for joining me this evening. I appreciate all you do.
Of course.
Have a good evening.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye.